Jada Emperor checking in once again. Y'all already know what time it is. Another free game topic. This one's gonna be about blood magic and period sex. First off, trigger warning. This may trigger a few people. This will also be a bit a graphic. So if you're not 18 and up, if you're squeamish at the ears, and if you're not wanting to listen to an explicit topic, I would recommend clicking off now. I just had to throw that warning out there. Let's dive straight into it though. I want to talk about women on their period cycle, their menstrual cycle, blood magic, sex magic, and just all of that. No judgment zone, but I want to talk about my experiences from a spiritual perspective and give a few stories. So, just to start and set the groundwork, whenever men and women have sex, this is a thing that's very common. This could have been going on for however long. But when you have sex on your period as a woman, for men, I want men to know specifically, men, you are getting involved in blood magic. Not only sex magic, but blood magic. It no longer becomes just sex magic. At that point, it's blood magic, meaning blood is very powerful. Blood is vital. Blood is our life force. Our DNA travels through our blood. We're connected to our ancestors through our bloodline. So that's why when you have sex with certain people, you can start to take on some of their generational curses. And that's why when you have sex with certain people, you can take on their STDs. Some of the STDs are transferred through sex magic, but also blood magic. Same thing with needles and stuff like that. Y'all get the basic point of blood, how important it is and how it carries life force, especially based off your bloodline and who you are. But when it comes to period sex, this is taboo. This is witchcraft. This is blood magic. Now, I'm able to talk about these things because obviously I have experience in these areas and things that I'm mentioning. Um, Everything has happened from a firsthand perspective from my own experience. Yes, I have been involved in these certain things, and I'm at a point now to where I understand it and I want to talk about it. I didn't always understand. I recently came to an understanding recently when I was hanging out with a girl. She wanted to hang out, by the way. She wanted to spend time. And I allowed it. I won't say I didn't want to, but we had already had sexual relations. We were in a relationship once before and we tried to give it a go. And I'm going to bring this up because this is very important. This is when everything will start to click for you guys. I just had to set the groundwork. Story time. I recently hung out with a young lady. She came over and she was on a period. She did offer to give me head. I declined because the fact that she was on her period just completely turned me off. Now, I have been around some women when they are on their period, specifically my girlfriend, someone I'm in a serious long term relationship with. And that was by choice. That's because I genuinely loved the woman and I genuinely wanted to be around her. I didn't care if she was on her period or not. I didn't care about the mood swings, the uncleanliness, or even just the blood in general. When you're in love, you don't care. So I have been involved in certain things before, but only in a long term relationship when it comes to stuff like that. So fast forward to the last interaction I had with this young lady. She came over. She initiated making out. She initiated sexual gestures, hugging, kissing, intimacy and stuff. We both were. We're both attracted to each other. But as things start to elevate it, she pulls, oh, I'm on my period. Red flag on the plate. Time out. I've dated enough women in my life to where, and I'm talking about women I'm actually in a relationship with, before we link up, before we even make plans, like while we're making the plans, they will let me know that they're on their menstrual cycle. And women, please take note to this. This is a video for men and women, but women, please take note to this. I'm not saying you should not be around men on your period, but you should definitely let a man know beforehand out of respect. And here's why. They say that when you lay with a woman while she's on her period or while she's on her menstrual cycle, you can be unclean as well. From the time you stop sleeping with her, it takes 7 days to get back clean. And same for a woman. It takes 7 days for her menstrual cycle to clear out and for her to be back normal and able to have sex again. So when the young lady came over and she started doing these things, I immediately got upset. I lost respect for her. And what was crazy is this woman said that she's a believer in God. She claims that she worships God, reads the Bible, is religious and Christian. But for her to come over and want to spend time with the man while she's on her period, just expose herself as she's on the dark side. She's more taboo than anything. Girl, I'm more holy and righteous than you. Why? Because even if I was a woman, thank God that I'm not. But if I was a woman, I would not go around another person, let alone a man, without one, letting them know that I'm on my menstrual cycle, and two, I wouldn't even go around them in general. Let me explain. This is evil. And the reason why it was evil is because specifically she claims to be a Christian. She claims to be a woman of God. And these are things women of God don't do. Hell, I've dated some wicked women and they've told me beforehand, before we linked up, hey, I'm on my period. Is that fine? And I will tell some women, if I genuinely don't love them, let's just link up another time. Hey, hit me when you're off your period. So if and like I said, if I genuinely love them or care about them or we're in a relationship, okay, we can hang out, but we won't do nothing physical. We won't sleep together, whatever. But as a woman, out of respect, men, I have to let you know this, men, if she hangs out with you on her period, she's wicked and evil. I just dropped a one video on my channel talking about how people worship God, but everybody ain't worshiping the same God. You may be praying to God, but the answers that you get may not be directly from God. Sometimes the devil will show up looking like a God, aka a deity. All right, back to the main topic. When she showed up, she was on her period. She claims to be a woman of God. She claims to pray, but she shows up on her period. And it wasn't the fact that she was on her period. This is natural. It's the fact that you led me on, you made out with me, you let it escalate to a point to where our hormones were increasing and sexual tension will start to build up. And then right before it pops off, so we're about to do the sexual act, you say, I'm on my period. You didn't mention this before you came. You didn't mention this when you showed up. You didn't mention this before we even started making out or kissing. This is wicked and this is evil. I'm not even going to bring up the other things certain women can do with blood. We're just going to keep it on the topic of what I'm talking about today. I've been around some wicked women and they will let me know before we hang out that they're on their cycle. So for this woman to do that, and I want to say this is the first time a woman has ever done that. I've been with so many women to where that's the normal or the standard for me. Women just naturally let me know, regardless of their caliber, they will let me know, hey, I'm on my period, because they know what type of guy I am. And keep in mind, the situation that I mentioned, me and the girl had already been intimate before. So we've already had a sexual history and a sexual past. We were in a relationship before. But the fact that she moved this way let me know everything I needed to know about her. Story time. My mom had me when she was 19. She had my brother 2 years later, so me and him were 2 years apart. Growing up, we used to sleep in the bed with my mom because we were young until we got to the age to where we did not sleep in the bed. Single mom, no dad in the picture from neither of us, right? Eventually, I got old enough to where I stopped wanting to sleep in the bed with my mom. Plus, my brother was in the bed. It was just not enough room. I outgrew it. I'm 2 years older than him. I'm just developing different. I would notice though, the times that I did sleep with my mom, me and my brother, we would sometimes say, Mom, your knees stink. Now, this is going to get real graphic and real disgusting, but there was a certain smell or stench. And all these things started to come back and trigger me as I recently had this last interaction with this last young lady. These days, I don't really date as much because there's so much wicked shit going on. But that was my last interaction with that last young lady. So it's still fresh on my mind. And that's what triggered me to want to do this video. It was recent. But I had a flashback of my mom being around me and my brother, us sleeping in the same bed, us being around her while she's on her menstrual cycle. There was a stench or a smell. We would say, Mom, your knees stink. We're young as hell. Your knees stink. Make it make sense. It just didn't make sense. But eventually, as I grew older, I caught on. I realized, oh, I can't sleep in the bed with my mom. I was righteous as a young ass kid. I already knew what time it was. As a young boy, I shouldn't be in this bed. As a young boy, I shouldn't be sleeping with my mama. Yeah, my little brother can because he's 2 years younger than me. But for me, I don't like this smell. I don't like this feeling. And again, I just been righteous since a kid. So I can never bring this up with my mom because, some women who are not woke on my level are delusional. And if you try to break their reality, it'll it'll hurt them. And it'll also probably cause stress. It's not my job to wake your ass up. I woke up on my own. You wake up on your own. But what I'm trying to say is, Mom, shame on you. I know you were just 19 when you had me, but there are certain things you should not do. Why? Because this energy affects men. This energy affects people around you. And I'm not ashamed to talk about it because I went through it and I'm growing and I've learned, but this was foul. And the fact that the young lady did not even know, so many women that I've dealt with knew, but the fact that this one young, I thought that this was just the standard for women. Women should automatically know, tell the men that you're on your period and keep your distance. So that's how it's been my whole life up until this one last interaction recently that I just had. And then I also had a flashback from when I was a kid with my mom. Now, this may be TMI for you too, but I don't give a damn. This is just to wake people up and understand that it's not right. It wasn't right for that young lady to do what she did, and that's why I cut her ass off. And it wasn't right for my mom to do what she did. Lord bless our soul, bless her soul, because she was a single mom, and bless my soul because I was just a kid trying to figure it out. And this is just to let y'all know it's not okay. Now, notice how I didn't bring the Bible into this because I'm not Christian or religious, but I am spiritual. And I do recognize that this is a red flag. This is an error. So make sure y'all are staying aware. Make sure y'all are staying prayed up. Y'all let me know anything in the comments on how y'all feel. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace.